On the recent edition of Monday Night Raw, the closing moments of the show, we saw Rey Mysterio approach Roman Reigns backstage and wanted to talk to him about AAA Lucha Libre business. No idea on what the conversation was had between Ray and Roman, but there's been a lot of talk in the last almost 24 hours now. Um, is Roman gonna wrestle on Worlds Collide? Are they purposely bringing in Roman to help ticket sales because on September 26th, Worlds Collide is going head to head with AEW. They're in the same city on the same day. AEW is running All Out, AAA, NXT, WWE is presenting Worlds Collide. And here's the thing. Worlds Collide was already doing great numbers in terms of ticket sales because Worlds Collide has always been kind of known as a AAA thing. A lot of arrogant, ignorant, uneducated people out there are referring to AAA as WWE's C show. Um, some people even look at it as a demotion and that WWE is using main roster stars from Raw and SmackDown because they're desperate to get viewership for AAA. That is all garbage. That is all nonsense. That is all coming from people who have probably never watched an episode of AAA in their life. Where, as someone like me, I have watched every episode of AAA Lucha Libre Wrestling since WWE bought stake into the company and started putting it on their YouTube channel every Saturday night. Have watched every episode, haven't missed a single one. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, and this is no disrespect to NXT, this is no disrespect to Raw or SmackDown, but AAA Lucha Libre Wrestling is the best weekly pro wrestling television show that there is right now. That includes WWE, that includes AEW, MLW, NWA, whatever's on television or whatever on streaming. AAA is the best weekly television show. And there's a number of reasons. Rey Mysterio's involved. Jeremy Borash is involved. The Undertaker is head of creative and has a lot of old school ideas and putting new twists on them. And it's working. The physicality in the ring is amazing. The stories that are taking place are amazing. It generally only lasts an hour each week, which makes it really awesome that they don't try to, make it a 2 or 3 hour show and make it drag on. It's to the point. It's straightforward and to the point. And, so the fact that Roman Reigns maybe getting involved with AAA isn't, that's not really benefiting AAA, in my opinion. It's benefiting Roman Reigns. People may think I'm nuts, but here's the thing. There's a different style of wrestling in Mexico. There has been for a long time. Just like there's a different style of wrestling in the UK. Just like there's a different style of wrestling in Japan. And there are a lot of superstars that want to go down to AAA and work that style and be under the learning tree of The Undertaker. And, maybe add some development to their character, add some extra layers to the character. I mean, my God, look at what it did for Chad Gable. Look at what it's doing for the War Raiders. Damian Priest is down there. Um, Raw and SmackDown guys want to be down there. Even NXT. Lola Vice has been down there. She had a very nice run, and more likely ended her run a week or so ago. She has been down there. Chelsea Green and Ethan Page were down there. Going to AAA is not a demotion. Going to AAA is seeing if you can add more layers to your character, add more depth to your character, working a different style that you're not accustomed to working in the United States. Simple as that. I mean, the best thing I can compare it to is look at Hulk Hogan in Japan. Hulk Hogan in Japan worked completely different than Hulk Hogan in the United States of America. Completely different thing. But to my point, AAA doesn't need Roman Reigns to be successful. Roman Reigns, in my guess, even though he said he didn't know that Rey Mysterio was the general manager, my guess is Roman Reigns probably does watch AAA and probably wants a piece of the action. Just like CM Punk wants a piece of the action. So you're not going to sit here and tell me that AAA needs the help and needs the exposure of Raw and SmackDown superstars. That you're never ever going to convince me of that. So to all these morons out there, and that's what I'm calling them at this point, they're morons. They're ignorant. They're uneducated and know nothing about AAA. AAA don't need Raw and SmackDown and NXT superstars. They don't. It's simple as that. So this whole notion that WWE's desperate and they're putting Roman Reigns and CM Punk on Worlds Collide to compete with AEW, absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. AAA, like I said, AAA has got all the talent and all the stories in the world right now to showcase to the world. They don't need a Roman Reigns. They don't need a CM Punk. I mean, yeah, it's great that they're probably going to end up competing on Worlds Collide. But at the end of the day, AAA Lucha Libre is doing just fine on their own. And if you haven't watched, get off your butts, turn on YouTube on a late Saturday night, get on WWE's YouTube page, and watch AAA. And tell me that they need the help. Tell me that they're desperate for exposure. Get out of here with that nonsense. Tune into AAA, and then you'll find out just how great it is. I dare you.